Welcome on the Deadwoodjedi, and we're playing King Arthur Legends Rise again. And I wanted to talk about the two biggest challenges in this game, at least the first big challenge. Like the first hurdle that you come to playing this game, it's a very basic one because most of the time it's actually pretty simple. Like in the beginning, and that's where I'm at. I'm in the beginning of this game. I have basically done what you're supposed to do, which is progress through the story, progress through the campaign. You know, you do a dungeon here or there as it comes up. You kind of try all the different things. But there's one spot where I got absolutely stumped, and that is on the final boss here, the final boss of the final chapter on the normal mode. And this is a big challenge to get past because this is the first time where you need a 6-starred hero. The rest of the time you can kind of, load everybody up and grow them, but getting that 6-star hero, that is a challenge. That's the first hurdle that you come to. The second hurdle is to get that champion to 6-star, and the reason for that is the dungeon that you find the stuff you need is real hard. Now, you need to get these mythic mana orbs. That's what you need to rank somebody up. So we're gonna take this a step at a time here. Okay, so we're gonna go to that stage. We're gonna look at one of the champions I have. So you can see most of my champions are all like level 50. A lot of them are level 50. Got some that are 40 and 30. I've just been leveling up, guys. Right? Like I said, not playing necessarily optimally, just playing through the game, kind of learning it. And I hit that stage where it's like, yeah, you're better off having one really strong hero than having a dozen pretty strong heroes, right? And I've hit that point now. So I'll need to get somebody up to 6 stars. And that's where I'm at right now. Now, thankfully, I just beat this level, so I'm able to do it. But yeah, this is my champion. Kay's great. Everybody gets her. It's definitely somebody I would recommend ranking up to 6-star. You can see she's 5-star. I've even awakened her a little bit. But what I want to do is I want to advance her. And you can see I have enough of the mythic mana orbs to do it. You're going to get, for the first time you beat this level that we're going to look at, you get 20 of them. You get another 10 going through some of the, the achievement unlocks, whatever. So it shouldn't be too hard to actually be able to get it once you beat the stage. The hard part is this stage is kind of the worst. I had to fight this level 47 plane of beast 7. It is brutal. It is just a brutal stage. It's very difficult. It took me a long time. And one of the big things that I realized I had to do was I had to get better gear. You'll notice pretty much everybody has like levels 9 or level 6 gear. Because one of the big things is not only do I need to hit hard, but I also need to survive the hits. And it comes down to one spot later in the fight that I'll show you guys. But you can see everybody's here's got like level 9. She's the big hero for this, by the way. This champion is absolutely massive. Sarah is such a good healer. Definitely somebody. There's other good healers in this game, but you definitely need at least one good hero. Now, in order to beat this, I have to manual it, which, honestly kind of stinks, but hey, it is what it is. We'll just go ahead and do one battle really quick. I'll show you guys. But this is where you're going to get more of those mana orbs. But basically the problem is you've got 3 tusks, okay? And each one has its own turn meter bar down there, the attack turn meter. So one of the biggest things you can do is actually, obviously, some AoE skills are good, but also Penvid has this big shield. So you need multi-hit abilities that's going to be able to knock the shield down, right? So those are the 2 things you want, right? Or that's one thing is AoE and multi-hit, right? Those are the 2 things. Third thing is decreased speed becomes really, really helpful because they each have their own, they're each moving on their own turn order. Slowing that down helps stop Penvid from like just slamming you over and over and over again. That's where you end up dying. So as you can see, look at my guys, we're all a little hurt. This is where Sarah comes in. She's a really good healer that's able to keep everything kind of full up. Now, my main dude here, I can't remember his name, but this guy is really, really good. And I think everybody gets him as a legendary. But yeah, he's Vigor. Oh, no, not Vigor. What's the guy's name? I can't remember. Anyway, the whole point is, though, he has an attack speed down on his A1. He's got an attack speed down on his A3. That's really good. So one of the things I like to do is get that going right off the jump, right? Look at that. We got the speed down. That's what we're looking for there, right on that right tusk. That's going to make it go slower, which means we're going to be taking less attacks. Hay is fantastic for this. Now, she does have some AoE skills. That's definitely great. But one of the other things she does have is a 5-hit ability on her A1. So that can help knock that shield down. And I generally just try to get that shield knocked down right away. It's going to help with everything else here. So we can go A3 now. We can hit the other tusk, right? Boom. Hopefully get that decreased speed. Didn't land at that time. That's okay. AoE here. Try and do a little damage. Great. We finally broke the shield down. That's great. Now we can continue to do some more damage. One of the things Sarah's really good at, she can remove debuffs like the decreased speed that we get on our side. So that becomes really advantageous. And now the whole goal is just to kill these tusks. Basically take one minion off the board, right? That's going to be really big for us. And so if we can do that, I think we'll be in pretty good shape, but that's just going to take a little bit of time. Is basically the only issue there. That's what we want to do. Now you'll notice I'm manualing, which just stinks. Once I get somebody to 6 stars, it's pretty much a wrap. I don't have to keep, I don't need to really worry. I'm not saying it's a wrap, but like, I don't have to worry as much, right? I just need to get one champion to 6-star to kind of get myself over that hump. After that point, hopefully I'll be strong enough to actually take down this boss on auto eventually. Try some different champions, some different combinations, because getting the second person up is going to probably be a lot harder than the first. So I'm going to go with the big heal here because we got people pretty low. Now there's a point later on, once we take Penveed down to half, once we get him nearly dead, there comes a point where he gives us a very, very strong attack hit, and I want to avoid that at all possible. And so we're going to that's one of the things where Sarah's really important. It's also really important that we kind of stay topped up health wise. This is why having a healer is really, really vital here, because we do need to maintain our health as much as we possibly can. Try and get that decreased speed. There we go. Okay, so we got decreased speed across the board. That's going to mean that we're going to be able to take significantly more attacks before we're getting hurt. I can come in with the AoE from K. Hopefully we can knock some of these tusks down here. We're pretty close with a couple of them. And yeah, so we're almost there. Let me go ahead. We'll just skip towards the part where I want to show you guys, or when we get closer here, once I've actually killed all these tusks. That's something that should be happening pretty shortly here. We should be taking them all down. My priority is get that decreased speed out there as much as I can, maintain that so that the other heads don't take very many turns. That's kind of the goal. There goes one tusk. Okay, maybe we don't have to skip ahead. Here should go the other tusk in just a little bit here. A little bit slow. Okay, we need to reapply that. Decrease speed, hopefully lands. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. We're kind of building with what we got right now, so I can't be too picky about it. Okay, this should take out the other tusk. Boom, great. Now we got one opponent. All right, this is big. Now that we only have one opponent, we can be a little bit more focused on what we're trying to do. Basically, that's deal a lot of damage, right? Get those debuffs out, deal a lot of damage. Obviously, get that decreased speed. I'm really happy we landed that. We have decreased speed everywhere. This is where Sarah's so massive. He cleanses all of that off so we can kind of continue to do our thing. And just kind of break down that shield. You'll see that shield up here in the corner. It's a pretty big counter ability. And it's a 5-hitter from K. This is one of the reasons why K is so very good, especially for this. Triple hitter here. Boom. Yeah, he gets a couple extra hits in usually. That's really good. So, okay, now we've got some real potential going on here. We're going to get some healing here in a second. So I want to save some vigor, I think. Try and apply some more debuffs if we can. Not so much. Got a big heal going. Boom. We're about to crush this. You're going to see there's going to be a nice big attack that's going to come through. You want to be very careful with that. Boom. Right here. He goes crazy, right? Took him under half health. His next attack is going to be pretty significant, if I'm not mistaken. We can go ahead and attack with that. Get the A2 going. Boom. It does so much damage. There's a shield. Okay, so you can see that big AoE ability. Turn meter's filling up again already. There is another big attack. I'm not quite sure which one it is, what attack it is. But the point is that it's the kind of thing where if you're at half health, that attack could kill you and wipe you. And that's the one thing we want to avoid as much as possible, is avoid getting wiped out. So one of the things we're going to try to do, and we did have attack, damage down, I think was really important. Without that, that is the kind of attack that could have wiped us. Usually, before when I first tried this, I'd survived the first one, but not the second one. And that second one is the one that always got me. So I'm really happy that we were able to avoid that. All right, only one person's really low here. I think we can go through a 1. I want to try and maintain as much vigor as I can. Boom. That's the hit right there. That huge, massive ability. I think that's this one right here. This one right here, Final Day. Yeah. Attacks all enemies 3 times. It just does such massive damage to us. That's a huge killer of a blow. So I got to be really careful when I'm using that ability, right? Or when I'm, to survive that. If we weren't full health, we would have lost at least one person, and that could have been everything for us. That could have been all of it. Game, set, and match. Of course, at this point, our goal here is to kill this thing. Yep, see, and we did lose K. Now the question is, can we survive? Even having lost K, are we going to get enough healing to survive whatever comes next? It's questionable, but I feel like we have a pretty good chance. This is one of those fights where I always end up losing right at the edge. Okay, Barry's back up, tramples over us. You can see the crazy damage that got done right there. We don't have K to help break down that barrier either. That's going to be a big problem. We got a lot of extra hits there. That's really great. Got really lucky with that. I guess we can come here and Penveed. Oof. This is bad, guys. This is bad. And this is the problem, is, trying to get this done with just a couple of people becomes real hard. Oh my God, look at how destroyed we are. We're just not going to knock that shield down in time. I can feel it. It's just not happening. Heal. Boom, maybe. Oh no. And this is how we lose. It was such a good effort. Oh yeah. Okay. I just got trampled to death. So this is what happens, right? This is why it's so very difficult. So I was able to do without any level 60 champions, right? I had to beat that first, or 6-star champions, I should say. But what was my plan of attack, right? I did use one of my second legendary that I'd pulled because I had her. But really, what is the plan of attack here? How do we go about doing this? And I think it comes down to a couple really important things. First one is obviously survive. You got to be able to survive those hits. So when it comes to, who are we using, right? I had what's her name? Morgan here. I had Morgan here. And, I think we're pretty decent as far as like the abilities and stuff. Let me do overview. Is there like a good? No, there's not. I need stats. Where do I see the stats? That's all I want to see is the stats. All right. Well, I'm not gonna be able to get that. I guess here you go. Oh yeah, these are the stats. So we have attack, we have defense, we have HP, all pretty solid, right? And this is kind of the approach that we're using, trying to keep those up. But you can see for her, she's legendary. She has some better buffs. Tristan, not quite as much. Tristan is the one that really good with the decreased speed. But obviously the defense and HP, both of those can be raised. Here we go with Sarah. Big HP, big defense. I wasn't worried about her attacking. I just wanted to be able to heal everybody else up. And I think that's really, really important. I did play around with using Ban. Ban has a lot of multi-attacks, but honestly, K is so much better. But yeah, K is great. She does have good attack. Her HP and defense are a little bit low though. And that's why you saw she was the first one to die. If we could have avoided K dying, I think we might have had a chance to pull it out. So one of the things I would look at is like, do I need to up her equipment levels? And you can see like I could up her helmet. That might help a little bit. Up this amulet. That would give me more defense, right? Obviously you can play around with the different sets. That definitely helps. I've got like drain on a lot of my main attackers. Is it helpful? Not really. I mean, maybe a little bit. I don't know. But there's some good sets out there. Like counterattack, I think would be really, really strong. But yeah, that's going to be the basic thing is, try and build them up as tough as you can. And then once you do, everything should be a whole lot easier. And then obviously, one of the advantages, of course, is once you do it, then you can awaken them. Nope, that's not the right thing. Advance them. You can advance them and you get enough gold, which is always an issue, but you can take them up to 6-star. Then once you're at 6-star, now all of a sudden that final boss, now you have a chance to take down that final boss. So I hit this like this struggle spot for a good 48 hours. And I've been like, how am I getting past this thing? And like I had to try that final level a bunch of times to finally get past it. A lot of it comes down to gear. A lot of it comes down to having enough survival so I can take hits. As long as you have somebody doing damage, as long as you have multi-attacks, should be in pretty good shape, but it is definitely not easy to be able to do. The biggest thing I can say though is get yourself a really good healer. Sarah is obviously a really good choice, right? That's just definitely somebody I would recommend getting if you can get her. She's, I think, one of the top healers that the game has. Another really good option is Isolde. She's another, really good healing champion. She's got a pretty AoE heal here, right? With recovery over time, so it kind of compounds it. And so that's a pretty nice little ability that she has. You can pretty much just use that and kind of, keep your team topped up, at least in theory. So anyway, I thought I would share that because that was a hard part for me, was that level 10-8 or 10-7, right? The final level in the story. Boy, that's a tough one. 10-7, that's a really tough one. And part of getting past it is getting one of your champions to 6-star. I'm pretty sure that's going to be the key to winning it, because otherwise it's darn near impossible. So how do we get you somebody to 6-star? Is you go to that dungeon, you go to the pig dungeon, right? Playing a beast, and then you have to kind of manual your way through it. But you really only need to beat it once. You can beat it once, then you should be able to rank up one of your champions. Everything else kind of gets unlocked after that. At least get one guy up to 6 stars, and that's gonna be really important for you. So anyway, hopefully that's helpful for you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Little education part here on the story. When we're talking about King Arthur Legends Rise, I'm actually really enjoying the game. Still playing my other games. That hasn't changed, but I'm very much enjoying this, and hopefully you guys are as well too. Definitely worth checking out and trying it. Link is down below in the pinned comment description of this video. So use my link, try out King Arthur's Legends Rise, and make your own legends. Tell your own story. All right, that's all I got. Guys, till next we meet, I'm the Deadwood Jedi.